All right, welcome to a very special bonus episode of the Next Guy Up podcast. We are calling this episode the Next Gal Up podcast because we have a very special cast today. Tinsley and Mason are not here. They are taking the day off, and we have a couple of visitors to the pod. So before I'm just also a guest on this pod as well. I am not the main character here.
You're the Steve Harvey of this pod.
What does that mean?
You're the host.
The host.
Oh, okay, yes, I am hosting this podcast. I have no opinions today. We're going to leave those to the other people on. You've already heard a few of them. We're going to let them introduce themselves before we get going. I have one sitting to my left here in the same house as me. Can you introduce yourself?
I am Megan. I am your wife.
This is Megan, my wife.
Who is with child?
Okay, she is with child. This has been announced already on Messing Around Mondays episode if you missed it.
There are three of us here.
Yes, that is true.
I'm very hungry.
Okay. The other two cast members, either one of you can go first. It's fine.
I am Morgan, also known as Tinsley's wife.
True.
And I am Jalen, and I am Mason's wife. Also, apparently the worst snake drafter.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Mason, the worst.
This is
That is
promising
true. We'll see if it runs in the family.
Redeem the Trinal draft vibes.
So if you missed it from the title of this episode, this is all about Taylor Swift today. The three gals all watched the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie that came out this past weekend. And so in honor of that movie coming out, we are doing a bonus snake draft for the week. We are drafting Taylor Swift songs. So the three of you all saw the movie. Any of you can go first. What were your thoughts on the viewing experience?
I think I've seen a lot of other concert films and even some of hers, like the 1989 tour that she did, and some others of other artists, and the Reputation tour is out. But the difference, I just remember watching like the opening. I was like, I don't feel like I'm watching a concert tour. I feel like I'm watching a movie. This is very cinematic and very like wild. And just from I don't know a lot about production, but I maybe know more than your average Joe.
Sure. And
you have 20,000 different camera angles, and when you feel like the camera's right in her face and they switch the angle, it's just there's nobody there. And so this is movie quality production, and of course it is. But yeah, and then the show was just incredible. The flipping through the eras was really fun.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. My theater experience, gratefully, I, being pregnant, would not have been able to stand, jump, and sing for 3 hours. And so it seemed as if the people knew this, but they didn't. But the people who did want to dance went off to the sides, and everyone was still hyped. But I did get to sit the entire time and enjoy myself that way. So
it's great.
Which doesn't mean I was any more or less involved, but I enjoyed it. So it was very good. 10 out of 10. We'll be watching it when it comes out on some streaming platform again multiple times. It was very good.
There you go.
I'll make you watch it. You would like it. So that is my review. Next.
That's how our theater was here too. It was a mix of people who were up in front of the screen, off to the sides, and then also people that were just sitting and enjoying, and that's what we did. But the camera angles and also the cinematic aspect of all of it, like when she did Tolerate It, that was like my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yes.
That was
if I had just seen that, I would have left.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Truly.
But it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably like the most impressive part of the entire show to me was that song, because I knew what it was, but then when she performed it and the way that she performed it, I was like, oh, I really like this song now.
Yeah, and so many songs we've heard before so many times, but I feel like when you see a live concert like that, it just adds another layer to the storytelling, and it just made it that much more.
And she's not just an artist that gets up and sings her songs. She storytells every song and gives some sort of, like, she becomes the character in the song, whether it is actually her who wrote the song about a real-time experience or
Mhm.
like the folklore Evermore, and then Midnight's was more a little bit storytelly-y. She becomes the character,
Mhm.
even on stage, and tells
Yeah.
you the story of the song. So it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing was immersive for sure.
Very
I'll
Mhm.
also give
immersive.
it a 10 out of 10. I would go back.
Yes.
I would do it.
Yes. The experience itself was phenomenal. I think one thing that was really entertaining was we did have a few guys in our theater, and they were like so
Represent.
prepared for this movie. They were like chanting out everything that if you watched videos to know what specific chants you were supposed to chant out in different parts of the film, they knew what to chant out. My favorite part was when she performed Don't Blame Me, and some guy was like, "Take us to church, Taylor." And me and Morgan looked at each other and we lost it because it was just like, oh my gosh, he knew when to say it. It was so funny.
And there was
It
another
was
part.
really
He was
good.
like, "What are you going to tell us, Taylor?" And then she like started the next part of the song, but it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
It was
The-
Was
I think the
Mason one
people-
of these guys? Was Mason? Mason was
No.
there, right?
No,
no.
Was he there?
Mason
wasn't
went
there?
the day before and
Oh.
graciously bought us popcorn buckets and a cup so that
Yes.
they wouldn't sell
Yes.
out.
What a guy.
They
And
didn't have
actually-
popcorn buckets where I went, so I just got a cup.
Oh.
So good.
Well, Mason actually was thinking ahead. I didn't even think about going the day before to get a bucket and a cup. He just like texted me while I was at work and was like, "Hey, do you want me to stop at the theater and get a bucket
I
and
didn't
a
know that was
cup?"
a thing.
Why didn't
was
you do
like,
that to me?
"Oh,
Why was
thank
that?
you."
Why is that a thing?
But
Did
they
they just
also
run out?
yeah, they
Yeah,
had
they ran out.
They had regular plastic
Oh.
popcorn buckets, and then there was more of like a collectible that's like aluminum,
Mm.
like a tin trash can.
Mhm.
Basically, is like the size. It was pretty big, and it's like pink
Sell
on
'em
the inside.
eBay.
Okay, but when you
Yeah.
got your cup, like I ordered a drink and they asked me if I wanted the Taylor cup, and then they gave me a cup and the Taylor cup. I got 2 cups. I could have got 2 drinks, but my hands were full. But they gave me a
No.
normal soda cup and then the Taylor cup, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this, and
I don't know.
I did not pay for 2 drinks.
You can just sell it online.
No.
What's the retail market? It's resale.
Collect-
No, I didn't get 2 Taylor
collector's
cups. I got a
item.
regular
I
soda
know,
fountain.
you sell the Taylor one. It's unused.
No, you don't want to sell the Taylor cup.
I want it though for me.
But you can make money on it.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a
It's
collector's item.
$40.
Mhm. Yeah,
Well,
one of
that's
these days it will
good
be.
money.
There went your Taylor son, Jalen.
Yeah.
We tried.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so the goal of today is to draft Taylor Swift songs. She has her discography is wide and far-reaching, and she has well over 100 of like in the hundreds of songs out there. So there are a
Mhm.
lot to draft from here today. I think it will be fun for those of you who are maybe not introduced to the snake draft. We will spin a wheel in a second to see who's going first. From there, it will be snake draft. So you will draft 1, 2, 3, and then backwards back to 1. We're drafting 5 songs each. Do we feel good about that? Shout out to Mason, who is
Shout out to Mason.
merch on behind. If you're not watching the YouTube stream, which you should be, if you're not, there is some Taylor Swift merch back there now.
He's
Nice.
a dedicated
Hey.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Before I
Content
spin this,
manager.
I just want to know: is there like a unanimous 1 of 1 here? Don't tip any picks, but is there, in your guys' mind? I know Megan is. We've talked about this, so she thinks there is a 1
don't
of 1.
wanna give it away.
Don't say it. I just want to know if they think there's also like an obvious number 1 overall pick.
Do you think we all have the same number 1? No. Okay. See,
No.
I think Megan and I might potentially.
okay, maybe.
Okay, we're not going to tip
I
any
could
picks,
see
but-
you two having the same one, but me, I don't think so.
Megan also said there's a chance that her list looks a lot different from your guys, just because. Oh, before we start, we're going to have this conversation. Favorite era of the Eras tour. What is your favorite era?
Of Taylor Swift's
Of Taylor
entire
Swift's-
discography.
Right. So like,
They're all eras.
obviously that's the theme. That's the theme of the show, is like going through all of her eras since she was first started out to now.
Yeah.
So what era is your favorite?
Mine.
Yeah.
Honestly, whenever so I count Folklore and Evermore as kind of a combined era, but if I had to pick either, it'd probably be Folklore, because when that came out, that just blew my mind that she would go that route with genre, and that's kind of more the alley of music that I listen to normally, and
True.
so it was like a Combination of Worlds, and it came out, I think, in the fall or something. I
It was
can't
like during
remember.
COVID, right?
It was
Or
during
she
COVID.
recorded it
And
during COVID.
yeah, and so it
Mhm.
was different, and it was my vibe. Like I love all of her stuff, but of all of that those albums are the most my vibe type.
Long Pond.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, listen, I'll rewatch the Miss Americana on Netflix.
I watched that. That
As-
was pretty cool.
Yeah, see?
I like that.
Yeah, see? That
Me
that
too.
was about those songs and whatnot, and
Yeah.
her writing them, and it's
Mhm.
genius. And then she released all of that on there's a soundtrack to that
There
out
you
too
go.
that you can listen to them in acoustic, and that's just me. I love it. So that's mine.
Mhm.
Okay, Morgan, favorite era?
It's so hard to pick. I'm between Red and Fearless, but probably Red
So earlier Taylor Swift vibes.
earlier. Yeah. Like
Right.
kind of the nostalgic, all the lyrics everybody can scream, sing to.
Yeah.
The breakup songs where you'd like look out your window and act like you just got dumped,
Making,
like you're in
making you
a music video.
making you feel like you had or hurting from the breakup you never had.
Yeah.
Very true.
happily in a relationship and singing all the breakup songs. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Jalen, do you have a favorite era?
Yes. So for me, mine is 1989. Just because I never really cared for country Taylor, not gonna lie. So I felt like the time that 1989 came out, it was like a whole spin on her music genre. And I was like, okay, I can be a Taylor Swift fan now. And so that for me was a big peak for sure.
I think that's when I rejoined the train too. I loved country music growing up, but I'm slightly a critic, and not saying that she couldn't sing, but her vocals back then, obviously, if you compare
different.
normal album to Taylor's version album, the way that she has
difference.
improved is just
Mhm.
astronomical.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so,
Yep.
yeah, same. I hopped back on the train in 1989 and
Mhm.
rode it since. So
Yeah.
I think I'm most interested to see with the re-records what the
Yes.
debut album sounds like now compared to the 2006 Taylor.
do you think that is she going to
Mhm.
re-record the self-titled Taylor Swift album? Or
I'm
is it
sure.
I would think
Oh.
she would. I don't know that that's
Mhm.
been confirmed, but
right?
I
Why would
figured
she
I-
not?
probably
Is
would.
there a
I
reason
assume
she
she-
wouldn't?
I don't know. She started with she start with Fearless?
she started with Fearless.
First
Yeah.
one?
Mhm.
Okay. So
But that makes me think she's saving the self-titled thing for last, just because
That's kind of what I was
Because
thinking.
what's
she's
left?
so specific about everything.
1989 is left. Reputation, right?
Mhm.
Is left.
Reputation, and then Taylor
Mhm.
Swift.
Okay, so she only got 3 left.
Yeah.
Like she would save her name for last.
Mm.
Yeah. That's kind of what I
Do you
was
think there's
thinking
anything
too.
to the fact that she's saving, like, I feel like on the re-releases, some of the more electronic-y stuff was a little easier to replicate versus some of the more, her first album, which was more like acoustic driven. Do you think the instrumentals are going to be like harder to replicate perfectly?
I don't know. They've been doing good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
identical.
think
I don't know.
I think
Part
I
of me
think
thought it was
there's
going to sound different.
I don't know. I think there's like intention to the albums somehow. Like she would do Reputation second to last when she's
Yeah.
kind of like come back and wrapped her arms back around everything,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
ends with her name,
Mm.
kind of
Mhm.
regaining that control.
Mhm.
I like it. Steep.
Mhm.
All right. Without further ado, we have a draft to do, everyone. So I'm going to spin this wheel, and we're going to see what the order is. I'm not going to remake it. It just has our names in it, so we can do this. It still says
Whoever's-
Zach Mason and 10. So, okay, here we go. First overall pick is. I'll put up this for you. I'm not cheating. Oh, it's Megan is number one.
Oh, Megan.
Number 2 overall. She wanted that one. Number 2 overall is. Ooh, that would be Morgan, which
Me.
leaves Jalen as third on the turn. So you'll have the third and fourth pick. All right. Are we ready? Ready to draft?
Ready.
Without further ado, number 1 overall pick.
All right. I wanted this number 1 spot
She
just
did.
so I could grab the All Too Well 10-minute version. That
Yep,
is my
we have
number one.
literally the same one.
Yeah. I was like, that's gonna be a heavy hitter. I've got I've got some options. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's my pick. It is iconic. The Taylor's version also, mind you, which
Mhm.
there's
We're just going to
only one.
assume they're all Taylor's versions here.
You have to say it.
Okay, you have to say it.
Yeah.
That's a rule. But yes,
TV.
Rule
iconic,
number 1.
wonderful.
Okay, you want to say anything else about it, or you
I'm
feel
good.
good?
Let's move.
Speaks for
You don't
itself.
you don't have to.
Yep. Speaks for
Okay.
Yeah,
itself.
listen
Go
to the
listen
song.
to
It's
it.
10
Maybe we'll
minutes
put together
long.
a playlist and post it so everyone can listen to all of your songs.
Perhaps. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Morgan, number 2 then.
Number
Number
2,
one got
Cruel
sniped.
Summer.
Cool Summer.
Good
Nice.
one.
All
The
right,
bridge.
that's
Screaming.
recent, right?
That's Lover 2019.
That's Lover
I was
Okay.
talking to you
2019.
about this
You were.
Mhm.
Yep, that was one of my other favorite parts in the movie when she was like, "If you know the bridge,"
Prove it.
and then the whole theater. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Good. Good
It's
Cool.
like
choice.
the second song that she did at the concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was the
Good-
first
good
song?
pick.
The first song was literally just the chorus of Miss Americana as she like opened
Hmm.
because she like there was this grand reveal you'll
Yeah.
see, but then
Mhm.
she went into Cruel Summer because Lover was the first era that she did.
Cool.
So
That's neat.
Yep.
All right, there you go. Wrap out the first round. Jalen, what do you got?
I've got Style from the 1989 album. Big reason why I choose that one is because like I said, that was when I became a Swiftie, was through that album, and 2, that is literally like one of my favorite songs to sing in the car and just blare that sucker. So yeah, Style is definitely my first overall pick.
nice.
There you go.
Is that
Yep.
also because of the affiliation with Harry Styles potentially?
Maybe just a smidge.
Dang.
Little tidbit: I am a huge One Direction fan. Just
We'll
Yes.
save that draft for another day. We'll revisit that.
Part 2.
Hey, I am all for that.
All right, Jalen, you're on the turn. Coming back around then.
All right, my second overall pick. I'm going to change the wording just a smidge for parental purposes.
Mm.
Better language.
you.
Vigilante Shiz
Yes.
from the Midnight. And the
We are a
only
family-friendly
reason
podcast here.
We are family friendly. Rated E for everyone.
That's right. That's right. Big reason I'm choosing this one is, first of all, her stage performance on the Eras tour for this song. And we all know this is what got Travis Kelce all for her. So may I say anything less?
No comment from you, sir. No
Say
comment
less.
from you.
You're only Steve
Fine.
Harvey. You have no
Absorb
opinions
it.
this
Save
podcast.
it for
I'm just
later.
moderating here.
I will say, if it wasn't for that stage performance, if
I
she
agree.
didn't do that, I
Mhm.
think that song would be further down the charts than it is.
Yes.
But
I
now,
completely agree.
like, I don't know if I want to like have you watch it, but it's rather risque. So
Okay, risque.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense.
it is risque.
Okay.
Yes.
I
But
will
because
say
of that
she dresses so
performance,
much more modest than the rest of her
Mhm.
dancers on stage.
I
I'll give
agree
her
with that.
And you're
Yeah.
looking at her anyway. So
Yes.
anyway,
Yes.
There you go.
It's good.
All right, Morgan, you're number 2.
Okay, this one may be kind of surprising, but it is from the Fearless album, and it was a bonus track. Come In With the Rain.
yeah,
One of my all-time
yeah.
favorites.
Wow.
nice.
Love that one.
Nice.
Just because of
Deep cut.
the lyrics. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've listened to that one as much. I need to go back.
Go back.
All right.
So good.
Come In With
Yeah.
the Rain. Bonus tracks. That's how you know they're real
Mhm.
fans here.
Yeah,
Not just the radio hits.
That's right. We're not just going to pick the top ones on the Billboard charts,
Yeah.
because even though there are a lot.
there are a lot. I went through her entire discography, and I was like, all of these are just up there. So anyway,
All right, wrap up the first round or second round.
Okay.
Megan, what do you got?
Give Me Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version.
Ooh,
I could not live without
Alright.
that song. I love
good
that song so
pick,
much.
good
Could
pick.
not live.
I could not live. I would die. And then on the turn,
Yep.
Give Me Delicate.
Ah,
I also love that song.
yeah, good one.
Very, very much so.
What album is that off of?
Reputation.
Mm.
Stage
Okay.
performance again for that song, because I'm telling you, just
I felt like the Reputation stage performances were some of the best.
They
100%.
And and just to you beeline here to talking about that Reputation album. Like after that album came out and she didn't win anything on it, that's when she like went into hiding for a while, and then
Yeah.
the Folklore and Evermore were the next thing, right? That's like when she came out of. That was the next thing that
Mhm.
came, and so
Yeah.
like that album is so successful, but she didn't
Mhm.
win any of those.
Well,
She didn't get any nominations, right?
That was with Lover too, right? There weren't really as many. Because it's Reputation, then Lover, and then she had Folklore and
Oh,
Evermore.
that's true.
I just remember in one of the documentaries her being on that phone call and it was like really sad and she didn't get anything and she was upset
Yeah.
and all that jazz. So, but I'm like, well,
Mhm.
it sponsors all of my workouts and the concert was incredible looking.
I'm like, whoever's on the committee for those things really
Yeah, yeah,
they really missed
Yeah.
the boat on that.
yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. All right.
All right, Morgan, third pick.
Right, third pick, coming back around to the Midnights era, Karma.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
That's big.
That was on your
Big.
list.
That was on my list. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was like the last song that she played is like the
Oh, really?
big hitter outro in the Eras concert. It's literally
Mhm.
very popular.
I feel like that's where I did. I hit the really big two. I got Cruel Summer at the beginning.
There you go.
Karma at the
Mhm.
end.
Sandwich it. There you go.
Yep.
Cool. So she didn't go in order for her eras then?
No.
No.
That's interesting.
She hopped around. She kept you on your toes.
All right, Jalen, wrap up the third round.
Don't Blame Me from Reputation.
Yeah.
The way that she
Really good
hits
one.
that high note, and like the people say, take us to church, Taylor.
And we just talk about the transition.
Oh,
four,
yeah.
too.
Can't forget about that part.
She
Yeah.
literally had like a whole maybe 30, 40 seconds of her like, boom.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. You have to watch it, but it was like,
Yes.
it made everyone, it's like the jaw hits the floor moment
Yes.
for
Mm.
people.
It just hits you in the feels.
Yeah.
It's just
It's like, holy cow,
Oh,
she's
gosh,
about
here
to
we go.
get somebody.
unleash the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be on the
So-
receiving end of whatever
Yeah.
that was.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
All right, so we all have 2 picks left then. Jalen, you're up.
Back again. Okay, I'm gonna go Enchanted from Speak Now, Taylor's version. First of all, always love that song, but then second of all, stage performance again on the Eras tour. The beautiful gown, flawless.
I was surprised
Absolutely
that she
flawless.
only did that one song for the Speak Now
Mhm.
era, but then
Me too.
again, it's such a big song.
Mhm.
How could she not come out in a massive ball gown?
Mhm.
And
Right.
she probably couldn't do much else in that gown.
Right.
And I mean, how many eras did she go through? 8,
7
7 or 8? That means she had that
But-
many. or
Wasn't
more
it like
outfit
wasn't
changes.
it like 45 songs in total for the whole show and they had to cut like 6 from the movie?
Mhm. They
Holy
Yeah.
cut a few
cow.
out.
And some of the songs she just started at the chorus and only did the big parts of the songs. Like she didn't do
Mhm.
full complete songs either. So
Yeah.
I mean, she did, but some of them it was like, oh, she skipped 1st
Mhm.
2 and just went straight to the bridge to
Mhm.
save time. So
Mhm.
anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was iconic. That
Mhm.
Yeah, that gown was so pretty.
Enchanted performance.
Mhm.
45 song set list is wild.
It is.
Wild
Yeah.
stuff.
It
Oh
is.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Morgan.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, the performance for Tolerate It. I love that song even before, but then add the visuals, just
Mhm.
made it even better.
Mhm. I had that one on my list as a backup just in case.
It's just another
I
one of
was
those good
excited.
storytelling songs where you feel like you're right in the middle of it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Or like you know
Absolutely.
them personally and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I witnessed all of that happen.
I was
You're right. He is a jerk.
That's funny.
All right, Megan, you have 2 picks back to back, your last 2 picks of the draft.
I know.
The board is wide open.
It is, and I'm honestly rethinking a couple of things because I do have some big hitters, but then I also have songs that like, man, I couldn't live without this song.
Mhm.
A lot of them are from Midnights, I will say. Man. Okay. Okay, I think for the charts, I'm gonna take Anti-Hero.
It's a banger.
Love
That is a
Anti-Hero.
big banger. I can jam to that. There's a lot of like jammy Taylor Swift songs. I like those, and I tend to resonate more towards the stab you in the chest Taylor Swift songs.
Mhm.
But of all the jammy songs that are out there, because I literally have All Too Well, Wildest Dreams, and Delicate, and so these are all like moderate emo songs. But I will take
Mhm.
Anti-Hero as a jam song. And then lastly, honestly, I think I'm gonna take Exile with her and Bon Iver, or however you say his name.
That's true.
Because I literally have
It's a
spent
good one.
time in the car pretending that like, you're him singing and then you're her as the responder. And it's like it's very, I have a playlist called Songs That Hurt, and it's on that playlist.
Yeah.
I'm an Enneagram 4.
It's accurate.
If anyone's wondering. So I honestly don't think I could live without that song. If we go over honorable mentions later, I will list mine. But
I feel like narrowing it to 15 is like nearly impossible.
yeah, I still have like lots of unchecked bullet points that I could have picked from, but I think I went with the songs that a good jam song. I feel like I need a good jam song, and then I can't live without the Exile song. I would be sad if I never got to listen to that again. So anyway. All right. I'm done. Sorry.
Okay, my last one. This is hard. Okay, I think I'm going to go with You Belong With Me.
Yeah.
Back to the Fearless again, because I'm a fearless
Iconic.
girl.
It's a banger.
Iconic.
I like it. I think it's a good one. I feel like there was a lot of the like big time. We'll do some honorable mentions maybe.
Yeah.
If I were to draft my top 5 songs, none of the songs you listed would be on there, which is why I'm not on this draft. But
Could you even name 5? You could probably name 5 songs.
yeah, but
Well, we'll save that. We'll save that.
I'll
for
name.
the end.
I'll name the 5
Yeah.
that I know.
Let's
and then
finish
we'll
Your
see how-
5 that you would do. Yeah.
Okay, Jalen, last pick.
Last pick. This one is going to be a bonus track off the 1989 album, New Romantics.
Yeah.
It's just a banger for me. I love that
I
song.
do like New Romantics.
The chorus of that song is so like she does
It's
it
just like-
live. It's so like, look
Yeah.
at me. I am so
Yeah.
much better than you. I'm so much better than all the people who tried to kill me. So I love
I
it.
love that one. Okay, I do have a hot take. The fact that they cut Cardigan from the film like blows my mind.
I was thinking that was a pretty iconic one.
Yes. Some of
Um,
the other ones that they cut, I was like, okay, yeah. I
I'm
can see
surprised that
why.
she did the one because that was the first track of Folklore, which honestly, I love that song, but it wasn't the staple track, I don't think.
No,
But
I
she
don't think
still
was.
did it anyway. She did the little iconic melody change with "Take Her Home" instead of the other one, which was blew everyone's minds. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. But honestly, like from she's performing for 3 hours standpoint, she got to lay down the whole time while she was singing that song, and I was like,
Build it in.
she's taking a break.
Taking a break.
So
Yeah, when you think about that from a stamina perspective too, like how many shows and how long of a performance time that is, I'm like, how does she do it?
probably has to. I mean, the concerts themselves are good exercise, and so at that LA wasn't it the last show in the US. She's probably in great shape by then. She could do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I think the last of 3, I think they did 3 nights in LA.
yeah, when they had everything down,
Yeah.
they knew all the angles to catch. Let's wait till the last one's practice on every other one. So okay,
Yeah.
Great draft.
we drafted. That was fun. I'm actually
did it.
quite happy with my draft.
That was great.
Should we go through
That was
honorable
so great.
mentions?
Yeah, you guys can shout out a few.
I'll read down my list. Maroon from Midnights, love that song. Champagne Problems, it's on one of the 2 folky albums. I can't remember. Out of the Woods, Red, Midnight Rain, Marjorie. I almost picked that one over Exile. Love that song.
I do really
Back
like
to
Marjorie
December.
too.
You Got Karma. That was one of mine. My Tears Ricochet. She did that on the show, right? Am I just dreaming that?
Yeah.
No, she
And
did.
like that
one
that
was
slow walk
so good.
up the stage. I'm
So
like,
good.
ooh, this is chilling. And then Enchanted was on there too. Those are my honorable mentions.
I like it.
I was kind of bummed that only Enchanted was the only song from the Speak Now era that we got. Even though it's not my favorite era, I would have liked maybe like 1 or 2 more.
I
songs.
was surprised. I leaned over to Lauren and I was like, was that really the only song she did from that era? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Because Lauren, my friend who I went with, she actually had gone to the Nashville show. So, but yeah, she confirmed, at least then, that was the only song that she did. So,
wow.
But I mean, that dress, if you're going to wear that dress, you should probably only wear it for a little while. She was probably very sweaty.
I'm sure.
So,
There you go.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Some of my honorable mentions were from Taylor Swift, Teardrops on My Guitar, Tim McGraw, Picture Burn, all those classic
Picture to Burn.
Our
I used to yell
song.
that back in the day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good
I feel like
stuff.
that's like Carrie Underwood before he cheats. Like
Yes.
those are equivalent
It's a karaoke song for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I had Red on mine too.
Mm-hmm.
And of course All Too Well, the regular and the 10-minute. But I feel like now I can't even listen to the regular anymore. It just has to be the 10-minute every time.
What I should have done with Red, and not a lot of people have probably heard this version, but she sang a version of Red at the CMAs one year with Alison Krauss, Vince Gill, and I think Sam Bush. And it is
I
like
remember that.
acousticy and a little bluegrassy, and I'm a big bluegrass fan, also folky, all that stuff. And there is I think it's out on, if not, there's a YouTube video, but it is like, whereas the normal Red version is like super hype, that version is like the sad version of Red, and it just draws you in, man. It's, yeah, I didn't think about that till after, but I don't know if that would have changed anything.
No,
but anyway, so
but still another good honorable mention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you, Jalen?
My honorable mentions. I will be honest. Folklore and Evermore, I was like kind of iffy about, but then when I saw it on the Eras Tour, I was like,
wait a minute.
I was like,
wait a minute, I've been wrong.
This hits hard. And I think it was all because she was like so into it.
Mhm.
That's what got me, because she was so connected to it. And then kind of knowing the backstory a little more on her Folklore album, that was kind of like, well, this makes sense. I didn't give it enough credit. But my honorable mentions would be Tolerated, as we've talked about, from Evermore, My Tears Ricochet, August, Cardigan. I just really like Lover. I just think it's just a sweet song.
Yep.
It's just
Lover
a
is
sweet little song. And then I can't believe none of us mentioned Ready for It, because I mean that was so powerful.
I mean, yeah. I would be upset if that was not on my workout playlist anymore. But
yeah.
Because it's like, are you ready for it? Your workout, and you're like, no, but I'm gonna feel like I'm ready because I listened to this song.
Yeah. It's gonna push me to do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I did do an all Taylor Swift workout at the gym. That is pretty fun. If you've never done that, you should do that.
Oh,
there's this girl who puts out treadmill strut playlists.
That's what I did.
Or like gives you a certain like speed that you can like strut to it, and you're like, you can really feel it walking in the gym.
That's funny.
Yep, that's exactly what I did. I found something on TikTok and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I was at Planet Fitness and everybody probably thought,
heck yeah, like, wow, she's feeling herself.
Yeah, maybe a little too much.
Okay, Zach, name
Top
5,
Zach.
Well, darn, now that we've gone through and mentioned all of these Taylor Swift songs.
Mine would just be a total pander draft, though, like pandering to like the radio hits.
Yes.
It would be like Love Story.
Okay.
You Belong With Me.
Sure. Okay.
Like Bad Blood. Shake It Off.
Okay.
There's at least a few more I could think of. I don't know, like all the ones that I remember actually hitting radio. Like I feel like all the ones you mentioned, a lot of them I didn't even recognize at all.
Yeah. I'm surprised neither of
us.
Not the radio hits. Shake It Off.
Red. I like Red too. Red's fine.
Yeah.
I was Shake It Off's okay to me. I think it just got overplayed, and I was like, a
little bit.
I think some of it. I think that's a lot of it. It got overplayed when it was out, and everybody's like, doesn't like it anymore, even though they were like the biggest hits in the world when they came out.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed that performance more on the Eras Tour than I thought I was going to. It was just so fun and just bouncy. I just liked it.
The performance that she did at one of the award shows for like Artist of the Decade. Have y'all watched that? She starts with that like jacket with all the names of the eras, and she sings through a couple songs, but she does Shake It Off, and then is like Camilla Cabell. I don't know how to say people's names. Her and somebody else came out and sang some verses with her, and that's one of my favorite performances of that song. I'll have to send y'all a link later.
Yeah, you'll have to send me that. I haven't seen it.
I think where she's like up on top of the platform during Shake It Off, and then she like runs it down, like she stops it at the mid song, and then she like runs down to
that's
the bottom.
not it. That's not it. But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I know that she's like going through all the eras at this point, and she like eventually ends with Lover. I think she actually goes in order, but then Shake It Off, there's like a whole bunch of people dancing, and then what is it, Fifth Harmony that Camilla Cabello is a part of, or
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's two girls from there. They come out and sing it with her and like give her a break singing verses because she's up there for like 20 minutes almost. So, but I'll have to send it to y'all. So anyway,
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
it's nice. All right, what's left, boss?
All right. We feel good?
Feel good.
You feel like you have done Taylor justice with your drafts?
Think so.
I think we did.
I think so. I do
Great
have
draft,
one follow-up question because this is a theory, one of the conspiracy theories that's swirling about 1989.
Mhm.
So people are saying that she's not going to have any features on this album, and other people are saying that while there aren't going to be any features, it's going to be a double album, and that there will be a second version that has a lot of features.
Well, she's already released the track list, and I guess there's no features in that track list, right?
Right.
Mhm.
But people are saying later she's going to come back and say,
Oh.
here's another album of 1989, but all of the ones with feature tracks.
Like a collaborations type?
Yeah, like a
Is
collaboration.
that just a guess, or do they have any sources? Or
There's a lot of sources about it. I've been deep in the
Easter egg,
conspiracy
bro.
theory on TikTok.
the TikTok conspiracy theories.
All the TikTok conspiracies.
We
Lots
love
of
them.
We'll update when it drops. We'll put it on the
Yeah.
pod.
Put an update out.
I
Well,
don't know if I
thank-
feel like it's going to happen or not, but
Not
I
sure.
don't know. 50-50.
50-50.
50-50,
Could be.
perhaps.
Well, thank you all for your guest appearance here on the pod. It's been fun hearing a different perspective. The conversation would not have gone well with Tinsley Mason and I. So you all are experts, so thank you for sharing your opinions on Taylor Swift. And make sure that you tune back in for Weekend Preview coming up in just a few days on Friday.
I'll be waiting for my check.
All right, yeah.
Commission check per stream.
This will be the
That's
most
right.
listened to pod of all time, probably. So
Probably.
here we are.
Go
And we'll
Bulls.
be back for more.
That's right.
Yeah, then we'll have to have you back because you've got more lessons than all
Hey,
of us.
next gal up.
Next
we're
guy, we'll
coming
start a
after
whole new
y'all.
channel for you.
A
Yeah.
new podcast and everything.
Yeah.
We're going to take over.
That's
Yes,
right.
we will.
Over, boys.
All right.
Ready for it?
All right. That's a great place to end it.
All right.
And with
Good
that,
work.
Good
tune in
job.
to Red Messing Around Monday.